Hello, everyone, and thank you so much indeed for joining us this evening. This is Money Talks. Money Talks is a financial literacy program and is brought to you by the CFA Society Nigeria. Smart Uzechi is my name, and today we're talking about building smart money habits. Yes, you heard me there. Today's topic is customized to me. So, Mr. Yemi will have to come and pay me for using my name. I'll give you a bill, I'll give you an invoice. Building smart money habits is our show topic today. And my guest is Taiwo Okwor. Taiwo Okwor is a vice president in the investment division of the Africa Finance Corporation. Taiwo is an investment professional with over 16 years experience in broad infrastructure and project finance across origination, structuring, execution, and risk management across multiple geographies and sectors in developed and developing markets. Taiwo's professional experience include investment banking, project financing, capital market, investment management, risk management, and portfolio management. Taiwo is the founder of Femme Minty financial education platform, an impact-driven initiative that is focused on educating women to develop financial foundations and financial knowledge to make smart financial decisions and become financially independent. Taiwo holds a bachelor's degree in economics and finance from the University of Exeter, a global executive MBA from the IE Business School in Spain. She also holds a certificate in investment management from the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment, CISI, and she's an affiliate member of CFA Society Nigeria and a member of CFA Society UK. So let's make welcome Taiwo Okwor to the studio. Taiwo, good evening and welcome to Money Talks.
Good evening, Captain Smart. I'm very delighted to be here to join you this afternoon.
We're so delighted to have you, Taiwo. So stick around, everyone. We will get the conversation started. This is something that you need to hear. Is the topic for the now. Building smart money habits. You need it, Nigeria. We'll be right back in just a moment to kickstart the conversation. Stay with us.
We are professionals. We are impact-driven. We are CFA Society Nigeria, a member society of the CFA Institute Global Network of Societies. Our mission is to promote the highest standard of practice in the Nigerian financial services industry and provide a vibrant community for our members. The CFA Charter signals the holders' commitment to professional excellence. As thought leaders, we collaborate with stakeholders to ensure adherence to ethical standards, better education for professionals, and to build market integrity. We are the leading voice for advocacy in the finance and investment industry in Nigeria. To partner with us or become our member, visit us at cfasocietynG.org for more details. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money. Welcome back to Money Talks here on 92.3 Inspiration FM. Smart Uzechi is my name and Taiwo Okwor is the guest on the program. Building smart money habits is our topic for today. So Taiwo, let's get started very quickly. Can you tell us smart money habits? What are they?
Oh, wow. Fascinating question. And this topic is really, something I'm very passionate about. When you talk about smart money habits, it's essentially your values and things you have to do to make smart financial decisions, essentially. You think about your health, right? So you're saying, what do I need to do to be healthy? I need to eat well. I need to exercise. It's the same thing when it comes to money. Money, we all need money. So smart money habits is essentially things around budgeting. Budget. It's like smart money habits 101. What is budgeting smart, right? It's essentially making a note of everything you spend your money on. What is coming into my account, right? How much am I making? What am I spending it on? And where is it going? It's essentially you understanding how you're getting it back for your buck. So really trying to understand, how you spend your hard-earned money. We all work hard. For people who are looking for jobs, if you're opportune to find a job, it's really understanding how you spend every naira that you earn. So that's number one, smart money habits. The second one, which I would, really stress about, is, living, within your means, right? So I think the reality is that we always tend to overspend. We always like spending more than we earn. So having a smart money habit entails you just making sure that you don't spend more than you earn, essentially. Another smart money habit I will have to say is, cutting down unnecessary expenses. So do I really need, do I really need some of those items? Do I need that extra pair of shoes? Do I need that fancy car, nice designer jacket when you have a lot already? You don't need those things. You can really, live with a few things that you have and still live well. So avoid unnecessary spending. That's another tip for smart money habits. And I think the final one, which I would like to mention, is around always putting money aside. We know at the moment, let's be real, the country, things are really hard. We have a new government which is making a lot of changes and policies to try to make things better in terms of economic reforms, exchange rate, electricity bill. Everything is just mounting up. And I think what I would like to say is that things are going to get a little bit harder before it gets better. So we all need to ride the wave. But what we can do in terms of smart money habits is just always set up what I call your own, people call it emergency fund, but something you can easily use, right, to meet unexpected expenses. Because the reality is that unexpected expenses will always come. Your refrigerator is going to break down. Your generator is going to break down. The car is not going to start. It happened to me some days ago. The battery just didn't work. So you having some pot of money that you put aside on a monthly basis, and you can start in baby steps, so that when those unexpected expenses come, it doesn't cause you stress as much as if you don't have anything at all. So those are kind of the, many of them, but 4 key money habits that people should practice. Emergency fund, avoid excessive spending, budget. Always write it down. What am I spending? What am I making? How much can I save? All those kind of basic stuff. So those are kind of, key smart money habits that everybody should try to practice.
When you were talking about those emergency spendings, I just remember those generators or fans that actually know when you collect salary.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's when they go bad. When they pay you, they go bad. So Taiwo, somebody may just be asking, why do I need to cultivate this habit, smart money habits? Why do I need it?
Oh wow, it's so important for many reasons. It's the same thing you ask, why do I need to be healthy, or why do I need to eat good food? So the basis of you cultivating smart money habits is to reduce financial stress. I think that's so important, right? We all saw what happened with COVID, but thank God it's all gone now. But when you have good money habits, you're less likely to feel financially stressed when these unexpected things happen. You're also able to, plan and save for the future. Because I think everybody's aspiration is to have a financial security. What does that mean? Be able to afford the things in life, care for our family, live in a good house, and just have a good a sense of well-being. So when you do have good money habits, it allows you to be less financially stressed. You're much more financially healthy, and then you're also more confident to be able to plan for the future, because at the end of the day, we're all going to grow old and you're not going to work forever.
Yeah.
So if you have good money habits right from your career when you're young, even as a student, you continue to practice that and be disciplined. And, by God's willing, you're age 60, 65, you want to put your feet up and let your kids, they've all done everything they can. You don't have to rely on them so much, right? Because you've put money away, you've invested, and it gives you peace of mind. That is the ultimate reason why you need to practice, this really good money habits.
When you're talking about money and saving, a lot of people will say, well, if I have more money, I'll be able to save. Or maybe when I get older, I'll be able to save money. But then I know that there are some practical steps that are like common denominators that people can replicate regardless of their age, regardless of the level of income. You want to walk us through those practical steps that are common to everyone, regardless of how much you have and how old you are.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, it goes back to the first point I made. Irrespective of how old you are, budgeting is very important. And you don't need any fancy, app or any form of, tech. You can start by writing things down. I am an advocate of, you just make a list.
Write things down.
Write it down.
Okay, Taiwo, just hold your thoughts. Our phone is already ringing. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Captain Smart and Mrs. Taiwo.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Louis the 13th.
Welcome, Louis.
Yeah, Mr. Taiwo, I'm a bit taken aback in the points you have highlighted here, because when I heard the topic, smart money, I was thinking, it's only cutting down on my lifestyle because of, insufficient funds or something. Well, what can I do to augment my income? So for me, aside budgeting, I would say on every income I get, irrespective of the amount, I would save certain percentage. I just take out the job, say from 100K, I want to take like 15% and just save it. Covering consumption, I'm not going to touch this money. If you like, let them bridge further. I'm not going to touch this money at all. On every income. So if I do that consistently from Monday to Saturday or Friday, I will know how much I've accumulated in a week. Then in a month, add it to my other income too. That's just my own take. What's your opinion on that?
Okay, thank you. Now that the phone lines are open, let's take one more call. Maybe Taiwo will have to respond to them while you're still going to respond to the question I asked you. 0700 923 923 923, or you can call 0817 313 6193. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Captain Smart, and good evening, Madam Taiwo.
Good evening. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
My name is Choma, and thank you for the points that you have raised. Very good points. And I also want to add that discipline plays a very key part in being smart with money. One of the things is try not to be put under pressure in any way. That has helped me a lot. Where I'm an Igbo lady, and back then I would tell people, this is my name. Your mate in my language is Ibe. I'll tell them, this is my name. There's no Ibe there. As in, there's no my mate, your mate there. So it helps me cut off any pressure. Another thing is to break things down. If you know you have a certain obligation, break it down. If you have a rent of so amount, break it down monthly and be disciplined to set out something. So by the time your rent is getting due, you would have accumulated it. So discipline plays a very key part in being smart with money. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chima. So you can conclude on the question I asked you then to answer these both questions.
Thank you very much for the caller. So I think I'll start with the first question. I think what he was alluding to was this, budget rule about, people advocate for, you 50% of your salary should go towards your needs, which are things like your food, transportation, everything that you need to survive, right? And maybe 30% will go to like your wants, things that are not so essential, and then 20% will go to savings or investment. But I guess I'm just trying to maybe start from the basic level. So that kind of rule doesn't apply to everybody because you can't afford 50%. Some people just start and they can't afford to use 50% on their needs, or even use the 20%, on savings. So it really depends. And the budgeting rule has to be specific to you. So it's okay to follow some rules, but you really have to, decide which rule is applicable to me now based on my financial goals. And to the second, point made by Ms. Chioma, thank you. Discipline comes into play so well, and it goes back to the point about, it's just about your health as well. Why do I need to be healthy? the discipline mindset of not following the people call it, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Doing everything that your friends or your neighbors are trying to do. Because if you don't do that, then you're not going to meet your own specific goals. So it's about setting relevant goals for yourself. This, by next year, I want to, move to a nice area. I need to save my rent for my rent. So am I going to put in 10,000 naira per month and stick to that, right?
Okay.
So it's
sorry, we have another caller. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you so much for calling. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Titimai. I'm calling for Lekki.
Okay, if I speak to us quickly.
Good evening, Madam Taiwo.
good evening. Thank you, Mr. Tilayo.
I felt like you were talking to me. That's why I had to call in. Every point you said seems right, especially talking about spending, how much you, just that basic step of writing down every amount you spend, matching it with your income. I think that point actually really got to me because, all these lose 1,000 here, lose 2,000 here, lose money, it's a huge sum. Yeah, so just to say thank you for what you said, and I'll be happy if you can throw more light into those points again so that it sticks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ifnaya. We appreciate you for calling. Hello, good evening to you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. This is James Mbona.
James, quickly, let's have your thought here.
Yeah, Mr. Taiwo, good evening.
Good evening.
The caller before this last one talked about discipline, and when you were trying to talk about the topic at the beginning, you also talked about living within your means. Each time I like sharing the story. I think I said it one time. I remember when I was serving, and we were collecting 19.8, and I was saving 7,000 out of the 19.8. My friends were like, "How can you save 7,000 when the 19.8 isn't enough for us?" And they're wondering how I was doing it. I was just looking at it that what if I was getting 12,008 as the payment? Wouldn't I live within that 12,008? So that was what I used to do things. When I save, I try to look at the remaining and I try to factor myself that this probably is the amount I get, and I will still live within that and I will still survive. So I think saving is actually possible if we're actually disciplined. Okay, because like now in my house we started some savings together and everybody's enjoying it. They're just saving for, towards the end of the year. So I think it's actually possible if we're actually disciplined.
Thank you. Thank you so much, James. We appreciate your call. So, Taiwo, we'll have to move quickly now. You mentioned something, so I'll take you up on that one. Like you want to keep up with the Joneses. So because of that, people buy things they don't need. They send their kids to the schools they cannot afford because a neighbor's child or children are, in those schools. Can you just tell us those money habits that can lead to perpetual financial struggles?
So I think the first one is what people call, lifestyle creep. And what does that mean? So essentially what a lifestyle creep is, you start to increase your expenditure as your salary increases over the course of your career, right? So maybe you're living, in Ikeja, and then you get promotion, and then you say, okay, I want to move to Lekki. And you now start going, expensive holidays. You send your kids to secondary schools.
But is that not supposed to be how life is supposed to be?
Let me finish, Captain Smart. I think the point is that, when it comes to financial independence, you have to always have a long-term perspective, like long-term goal. Because what you're doing with that is, if you're not being very careful, is you're not saving. Some people don't. So that money, that extra money you have, is just going with increased expenditure. So the delta or the difference is zero or is very little, and you're not putting enough money towards investment or savings or retirement. But like I said, by God's grace, you're going to live like 70, 80, and you're never going to work. You're not going to work until that age. So while you're doing better with your education, your job, your career, always make sure that you're also increasing your savings and investment. It's okay to live well. It's okay to give yourself the best education, but always think about the long term as well. That am I putting enough aside? As this caller said, right? You can actually save a good amount of money if you're disciplined. So even increase or work towards increasing that savings and investment over the long term, so that at the end of the day you're in a better position that you really like to be.
All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Captain Smart and Mrs. Taiwo.
Good evening.
My name is Princess EJ calling from Ikoyi.
Thank you so much for joining. Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you for this smart topic, I would call it, which all of us need. Mine is a contribution. One of the most difficult things that we have in this life is savings, but it's actually simple if one is committed to it. One of the things I do is to cut down on frivolity. I won't stop talking of what we call ashwebi. There used to be a time in the office, every week somebody brings something for you to buy an ashwebi for one function or the other that you will not attend. There are also things that you see people bring into the offices and you don't take your eyes off it. And when you get home, you discover that, I have something close to this. Meanwhile, you have spent money on it. At the time I became committed to savings, I cut down on all these frivolities, and I discovered that even myself, my children, everybody has a colo. Everybody cultivates that habit of savings. Let me shock you. There was one time we had a very huge problem. We weren't expecting somebody to die in my family, and something came up. Somebody died. Honestly, it was that my savings that saved the situation. We can't overemphasize the importance of savings. And no matter how little you earn, if you take out 1,000 naira every month, it is better than leaving your kulu empty. So that's my contribution here. Let's cut down on frivolities and let's be committed to savings. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Princess. We appreciate you. And a message here says, good evening. It seems most of the callers are in a good health financially, but there are some people who are already distressed, which leads to the potential for the whole range of mental health issues. What do you propose for such people who are already living under the barrel? Secondly, please, is it okay to ask callers to be those who actually have financial sicknesses instead, as we already have had a good dose of testimonies from the wise ones? Thank you very much. So we don't stop anybody from calling. If there's anybody who has a financial problem, the person should call. We're not selecting the callers. The numbers to call 0700 923 923 923, or you can call 0817 313 6193. We can announce the number, but we cannot force anybody to call. So we're not stopping people from calling. You can call if you wish. So Taiwo, for time constraints, can you tell us how one can overcome these unhealthy money habits? The last caller talked about buying ashwebi, staying from frivolities. What more can one do? Okay, let's see if this caller is in a financial distress. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm calling for Taiwo.
Okay, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Molebucheng. I live in Ikoyi.
Okay, that's fine. So just 30 seconds.
Okay. Hi, Taiwo. Thank you very much for sharing. So you spoke just now about lifestyle creep. I want to ask you a question to say, so for me, my biggest challenge is lifestyle creep, right? Now that I've gotten a new job, I want to change my children's school. And I think for me it happens this natural way. I'm just always trying to improve their status, what I expose them to, etc. But I'd like your advice in terms of what's a healthy savings proportion that I need to keep in mind to say, okay, I'm improving this, but what percentage of my salary what proportion of my salary should I be thinking of saving to ensure that, should there be a rainy day one day, I can still maintain certain, a good balance.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you, Molebucheng, for that call. As I mentioned, the typical budgeting rule is 50% of your salary on your wants, your needs, actually, things are essential, your food, your clothing, transport, car, etc. And then 30%, on your needs. The remaining 20% can be spent on savings and investing. So if you can afford to save and invest 20% of Your salary, great. And if you can do more, I think it's even better because you're now starting at a better footing. So I would say from 20% plus onwards for saving and investment, do that. And then for your question on lifestyle creep, like I said, always keep a long-term perspective, right? Where do you want to end up when you're like, 50, 60, 70? At the same time, you want to give your children the best education. So you have to weigh both options, right? So it's an individual decision, but I will always say keep a long-term perspective in mind. And I think just to address one of the comments about, the callers and people in maybe financial distress and everyone seems okay. I think going back to this, money habits, which was the purpose of this call, I think it's better. It's always actually better when you don't have a lot of money to develop some of these disciplines. You don't even need to have a lot of money to be rich, because what you start to practice in your time of low income, etc., is what's going to take you forward to go back to that point of financial discipline, which a lot of people have been advocating for. So I think it's generally saving as much as you can. Start with little. Zero is not good. That's not a good reference. Put as much aside as you can. And, setting your goals as well. What is relevant to me? It's not what my neighbor is doing. Because buying a Mercedes doesn't mean I have to buy a Mercedes. I don't need to live in a big house like him because I'm not there yet, or I'm saving for something else. And I think to your point about where we are in the economy, I always make things very practical, right? It's very hard at the moment. One thing we can start thinking about is how to upskill. Training, right? Look for ways you can train yourself so that you can try to, find an extra job, or even when things get better with the new administration, you are positioning yourself to be able to take a job that will help you to improve your situation. So overall, I will always say it's about being positive. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Petrol, everything is hard these days, but I think we just have to keep pushing.
Yeah. Okay.
And be very positive.
Okay, let's see. We have just 20 seconds left. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, what's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
My name is Deomi. I'm calling from Yanowara.
Okay, Deomi, very quickly, 20 seconds.
Okay, so I just want to find, I resonate with the fact that, okay, we need to always have these savings and all of those things. So I started a job about 3 years back that I was compelled to save up a certain amount of my money, of my salary, as a security deposit of what they call it. So, but it was painful at the time, but till date, I don't spend that 20-25% of my salary till date. Even though my salary has grown so much than then, it helped me over the years to at least be prudent. But in this Nigeria of nowadays, that savings is becoming.
Okay, we can understand that. Thank you so much, Deomi, for calling. And this last message here says, in as much as savings culture is very good, I think we all should look towards multiple sources of income in this economy, no matter how small. There are still 2K businesses existing out there. And that's the much we're going to be able to take on the program. It's been a very wonderful time with you, Taiwo. Thank you so much. We'll still have more questions, but we're out of time. And we see what you're trying to tell us here is having good money habits may lead one to have financial independence, and then you can retire early and be sipping some things maybe at the Caribbean.
I would say that's a dream of
at a
everybody.
later age. Just relax at the beaches there and enjoy yourself.
I agree, but I think there are many places in Africa as well that you can equally,
go to Obidukatu Ranch.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Don't mind Mr. Yemi, he has big eyes.
So it's really, having that financial security, financial independence.
Yeah.
What's your long-term goal? So everything you're doing now, the choices you're making now should be helping you to set you on the course to get to that long-term goal. That's my final word. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Taiwo Okwor, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. That's Money Talks for this Monday. We're back next Monday at 4:30 p.m. Check us out at www.cfasocietyng.org. Have a good evening. Smart Uzechi is my name.
It's 5 o'clock. 92.3, your number one family radio.
Always know this.
You don't choose your family. They are God's gift to you.